Hello and welcome to another update video about Algorand. Yeah, Algorand, one of the weakest cryptos out there. I think that of the ones that we cover more or less regularly. I don't cover Algo frequently, but it certainly has a fan base out there. However, that fan base has not managed to push the price up. There is no positive sentiment at all at the moment around Algorand. Absolutely not. So you can see that, I mean, other cryptos have performed quite well over the last few days, last couple of weeks, okay? Algo hasn't really done anything. And you see that it actually made a new all-time low in this bear market. The structure to the upside was very choppy. It never had a good start to the upside. It never was really promising in terms of its wave count to the upside. From an optimistic point of view, we could have counted it back then as a leading diagonal. However, because Algo made a new bear market low and dropped below all support levels that are relevant really, this can only really be an ABC. But even that's one of the reasons why diagonals, because you have a lot of overlapping waves here, why diagonals cannot be trusted. They need to, you need to get proof, and you only get proof when in the correction a higher low is maintained. But you can see how this sell-off happened, into 2022 and then carried on into 2023, especially into 2022. There was absolutely no corrective move to the downside. It was very, very aggressive. Okay, so very aggressive looking move to the downside. To be honest, I even have difficulties to determine really a wave count that makes sense here. I mean, that might not even be a very suitable wave count. You could also say that wave 1 might have finished here. But then look at this wave 2, how shallow it is. So very, very bearish. But then you get a problem here. What is this? So from that point of view, I decided to count it as a diagonal, basically a leading diagonal. It's not so important. It's a very messy structure. Sometimes my experience tells me that, or I've seen it many times, a lot of coins that essentially sort of fizzle out, okay? They basically just decline without a real structure, and sometimes even without a real wave 2. Yeah, and that is a problem or a potential concern here for Algorand as well. So anyway, primarily I have to expect that it's following the downtrend here at the moment until I see any clear signals that this downtrend is over. But obviously we are watching here for a potential breakout of this trend line to the upside. That's at least something you could watch for. Certainly something that could happen is this rally in a wave 2. I really find it difficult to assume something more bullish for Algo at the moment, because it just hasn't given me any indication. It would simply just be hopium to say we are gonna rally here to new all-time highs. There's literally nothing in this chart that would make me lean towards that. First of all, it would need to prove to us that it can break above resistance, okay? And I have to shift that a little bit. I think it shifted, for some reason here. Let me just adjust that. So resistance for a wave 2 correction. First of all, it would be an ABC structure, that we would be watching. And this ABC structure could reach the area between 32 cents and $1.33. So it would need to break above $1.33 to, give us at least an indication that something bullish is going on, something more bullish. Until then, it can simply be a wave 2 correction. It will depend a little bit on the structure. If we really rally into this area, we can be watching for something more bullish. But until then, there's not even a breakout down here or anything. Okay, so they are the parameters for a larger wave 2 rally before Algo can completely go down. Okay, surely it might do something more bullish, but then we will have to pick that up along the way. I mean, this is not a lifetime uptrend. So essentially any upward move needs to be assumed as a counter trend move, especially if you consider this has to be an ABC structure up. This has to be either an impulse or a diagonal down. So we have to be watching for a lower high next. If it makes a higher high, yeah, great. Then we can always assume, okay, it might have a bright future, but I just don't see it at the moment. If not even on the lower time frame, there's a setup for a breakout. I mean, this still looks very choppy. The assumption would be that we could still be in the 5th wave actually. Okay, I mean, at the moment we are sort of in breakout mode in crypto, so I cannot rule out that this move down is already finished. But the last wave down was just in 3 waves. Yeah, and therefore one more low is definitely still on the table here. We did define in previous updates, obviously, potential targets 7.7 cents and 5.2. But if it breaks out of the wedge pattern earlier, then we might argue that, yeah, maybe the A wave has started. But even then, due to this messy chart structure and this unhealthy chart, it could be that it's just resetting the way forward a little higher. I mean, there is a lot that Algo needs to prove. So certainly, even if it goes, there are other charts I would assume that have a better prospect and better outlook. Okay, that's my update about Algo. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.